Imagine turning this into a zombie-themed park. Hi, I'm Mark Sywalk, and I'm leading a team that is intent on creating Z-World Detroit, a spectacular zombie-themed experience park. Now, the question for Detroit is, what do you do with a place that looks like this, a place that's turned into this? Now, the answer for decades has been to essentially do nothing, to abandon it, to leave it behind, head for the suburbs, or at least a nicer section of Detroit. Now, this leaves wide sections of the city that look like this. Now, of course, people look at it and see a problem, a huge liability, but we think that's looking at it the wrong way. This is actually an opportunity that we would like to take advantage of. We want to embrace what's left behind and turn into something that is unique and spectacular, and this is what we want to turn into Z-World Detroit. Now, there's a long story about how Detroit got here. It's a classic boom town with the auto industry that went bust with 1.1 million people leaving, and they left their homes and businesses behind. And that really is going to translate into the data-driven Detroit map. Now in this map you're going to see the green areas show the places where 50% of the residential lots are vacant. Now just think about the magnitude of that. And that gets you these pictures. But this isn't about complaining about Detroit, it's about doing something about it. And more importantly, doing something fun and interesting about it. Now, Detroit's problems are no mystery to anybody, including the mayor, who's made this a big priority. And he's formed the Detroit Works project that wants to come up with ideas on what to do with all of this space. Now there's been a number of stories in the paper, but we have a great idea here. Let's make Z-World Detroit. Now here you would have acres and acres where people would come in with their friends and have an overnight adventure far more interesting than any boring camping trip that you've been on. There would be a perimeter wall enclosing the entire area. There would be a headquarters building, a staging area, and the area would be filled with lots of houses, warehouses, factories, and open spaces. In this expansive area, you'd be chased down by zombies, chased through the streets by a growing zombie horde. You'd be running for your life, hiding out in buildings, looking for supplies, and trying to establish a base. You'd get separated from your group and have to hook up with another group. You wonder if you're going to make it through the night, or where you could be turned into a zombie. Pretty much this is going to be the time of your life. You may have to hunker down, prepare for a final assault. Now how much fun would this be? Expansive and immersive, like you've never done anything like this before, and you're going to be living the real zombie apocalypse. So here's how the general gameplay is going to work. Participants gather in the staging area, so you, your friends, and everybody else are let loose into this expansive area. From there you start looking for hideouts and supplies, getting a home base and getting a general lay of the land. Basically getting a sense of what you're in store for. Then a small group of zombies is released. And as you know, once released they will start to advance and the horde will multiply. Now here's the beauty. Suppose the zombies get you. The game is not over. You now join the zombie horde and play out the rest of the game as a zombie, and you start hunting down your friends and any other victims you can find. And to add to the immersiveness, the game's going to last all night. So, as you can see, this is a very ambitious project. In terms of specific project goals, here's what we want to do. First, we want to conduct a comprehensive study to locate the ideal site that meets our specific criteria, like building mix, vacant lot density, and overall location within the city. Of course, we have a few in mind, but we need to get very specific and thoroughly understand the land ownership in these neighborhoods. Then we will develop a specific site design. This will include the enclosure wall, design and costing, and the various infrastructure and safety enhancements in order to make the site viable. And of course we want to refine the gameplay, since this is a critical element to make this a spectacular experience for everybody. This will of course include running pilots and nailing down every aspect of the game. Now a thoughtful plan with strong support from all of you is critical to attracting the necessary political and financial capital to make this happen. And with that, we can turn this into Z-World Detroit. So, here's your chance to help us do something bold, spectacular, and potentially transformative for an entire neighborhood. Something that will actually create jobs and a destination. Now, strange as it may initially seem, this is something that can actually pull in various community organizations. Now, we're committed to doing this right, and the possibilities for something like this are endless. And really, who doesn't want to live through at least one night in the zombie apocalypse? So, we invite you to help us out on our adventure to make this happen. We welcome your feedback and questions, and we know there'll be plenty. In our experience in developing this project, it generates a lot of excitement, passion, and questions. So help us out and help build the excitement around the idea. and here's your chance to be part of something very, very unique. And of course, thank you very much for your support.